So, good evening guys, welcome to stages 8, 9 and 10. In this video we're going to be doing 3 episodes, which is going to finish off a seat or do a seat as well as do a wheel.
I've pounded the road from coast to coast, Yorkie and me rolling on. 'Cause a long day's run can be short on fun without Yorkie to help me along.
So this is issue 8 and in this issue we're going to be doing some driver seat upholstery. Now there's a couple of pieces missing at the moment because we need to soak them in hot water. So what I'll do is I'll tell you about the piece when we come to them, but when we actually use them then I will show you the piece. So we have piece 801, driver seat back upholstery. That's in my little bowl of water there, along with another piece and a wheel which we need for issue 10. So that's just soaking and softening. So piece number 2 is the driver seat back inner. And then we have, so I placed that there in a second position. Then we have the driver's seat back panel. And then we have piece 4, the driver's seat upholstery. That's also in the bowl of water soaking. And then we have the driver's seat inner frame. And then we have the driver's seat base. Now we have 2 packets of screws. 7 1.8 by 4mm PB screws, and then we have 3 1.2 by 4mm PB screws, and it does clearly state do not open the package yet, as they will not be used in this issue. And then we'll obviously need some pieces that we've got left over from the previous issue, and the 2 screws and the seat frame. So what we're going to do here, ever so nice and simple, holding the piece in the correct orientation. So take this triangle so it's kind of pointing downwards. We've got the seat base up, and take one of these and take the inner tab, so that tab is pointing inwards. You'll see there's a large hole and a small hole, and that's going to go over there like so. And I'm just checking my microphone is on. I've got to confess, I did start filming this earlier on, and I got to this stage and that's when I realised I hadn't turned my mic on. So we take the other piece of framework and that goes over the other side like so, and there we go. Nothing to screw in at this stage. Wow, I'm just trying to think how that's gonna go. That looks interesting, doesn't it? Right, so that's that piece done. So next we want to take the horizontal bar, and this goes into, see we've got 2 holes there, and that's going to go into there like so. Excuse me, sorry. And then what we want to do is we want to take some screws, and we just want to screw that horizontal bar in, 1 screw each end. So you know me guys, I'll just put that screw in just enough to bite, and that looks strange, doesn't it? I'm sure this is one of those builds where it's going to look strange until it's finished, but that bar actually looks like it's pushing that apart. It isn't pushing it, but it looks like it is. So you're going to have to hold on tight to the horizontal bar, because obviously if you don't hold it, as you turn the screwdriver it's just going to rotate the horizontal bar. There we go, that's in place, and that doesn't need to move or turn or anything, so that's all good. So the next step then is step 5. We need to take the seat control knobs, and they're going to go there. You see on the end there they've got these 2 pegs, so one of these is going to push onto there like so, and one is going to go onto there. and I can now start to understand how the seat will go, because usually to adjust your seat you either put your hand on the side of the seat or directly in front of you. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn that one maybe to tilt it and that one maybe to go up and down, or the other way round. So it now looks like this is going to be this way round. So the legs will come down there, he sits there, and then the support will go up, and then the back will move as so. But we'll see how we get on. So the next step then is to take the seat back Upholstery 8-1 and place in a bowl of warm water, leave for a few minutes to get warm and supple. So let's see if I can fish this out amongst all the other pieces. So this is the piece that obviously I haven't shown you yet because it is in the water. Right, so this is it here, and it feels rather nice now. So it's nice and pliable, so we make sure that's nice and dry, which it is. So this is piece 1. It's a sort of a rubbery plasticky texture, and it's shaped like a seat back. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this inner frame and we're going to place, you see there's 2 pegs, one on either side, and that's going to go in. It's got like a key fitting, and then there's a keyhole there, and there's, yeah, so it needs to line up. So what we'll do is I'll push this through, and then I'll just pull this there, and then, do you know, I'll be honest with you guys, either that hot water has made that extremely supple, or it just really didn't, there we go, didn't really need it. There's a little tab on the top there, and that just clicks over like that, and if anything it feels too loose, but we know that that will stiffen up as it gets cool. Right, so the next step then is to take piece 3, and that wants to go, you see there's 4 pegs there, and we've got 4 peg holes, 4 peg holes, and these are going to line up there. It's very difficult to see because it's black on black, but they will push into there like so. And I'm so glad that I have remembered to unmute my mic, because I think if I needed to unassemble that to redo it, I think that would be extremely difficult. There we go, make sure you push it in. This particular one I had a bit of trouble, so I just really pushed it, make sure it's flush. So there we go guys, that is the seat back. So the next step then, and we're going to repeat that, but this time for the bottom. Sorry, I just caught my camera, I did not mean to do that. So let's get our next piece out of the water. So this is piece 804. Let's put that wheel back in, that tyre. So this is the seat base, and again exactly the same as before. This is just a piece of rubbery plastic, and what we're going to do is we're going to place this in here. Now I can't see an easy way. Yes, I can. Right, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs. These 2 tabs seem to be lined up pretty much the same, but these 2 side tabs, I don't know if you can notice that they are slightly below centre. They're going to correspond with those two. These 2 are quite hard to spot, and then 2 on the side. So make sure that the 2 side tabs are slightly below centre, and then we can push that in there to line those tabs up, and then take the bottom, pull it out a bit and push it in, and just to line those 2 tabs up, then finish up with these 2 side tabs. Just pull it out and push it back in, give it a check, make sure that they're all in, and there you go. So I don't think that, it feels like it didn't need to be soaked, So I'd be interested to hear your feedback, guys. Did you do this without soaking? Did I not need to go through all the trouble of soaking? I really don't know. So that is the end of that issue, and we have got this wonderful now wonderful looking seat frame. We have a seat back, and we have a seat base, and we have this framework and two packets of screws left over. So on to stage 9. This is quite interesting. I suppose you could be forgiven for thinking that they have drawn this one out. So this is called the driver seat assembly, but what we actually receive is 2 wheel parts and a packet of screws that's just gone flying. Right, so we've got, just like with the wheel before, we've got 1 plastic half and 1 metal half, and we've got a packet of 5 screws, 2.3 by 4 mil, and these are going to go to one side. Now we need to fit the seat to the frame. So we take our framework and we take our piece 806. Check how the seat base fits on top of the frame assembly. There should be 2 raised sockets, which means that, right, okay, so these raised sockets are actually going to go up, and then if you look underneath you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screw holes, and then 2 smaller holes. Right, ignore the end holes, just focus on the middle 4, and you'll see that they correspond in there. So that's going to go on like so. Can you see how that acts as a peg? Which means that stage 2 is to screw that in with the 1.8 by 4 mil PB screws, which I believe came in the previous issue, which has now, let me double check. This is the problem I don't like about supplying screws for a future issue. So we are after 1.8 by 4 mil screws, of which we received 7 in the previous issue, which is these ones here, labelled DP02. So yeah, because we've received these in a previous issue, we're now finding ourselves referring to 2 magazines. I'm more of a fan of, once I finish that magazine, I can put it in the binder, put it in a box, put it in a drawer, throw it in the bin, whatever I want to do with it, and then it's done and dusted. So but this is the way it is. So we want to fit the 2 screws into those 2 sockets there, and as always I'm going to pop one in very loosely just to stop that from falling off. And okay, this isn't going. Right, there we go, that's gone in. Right, I'm just going to change my screwdriver head. I think I've got a little bit too small a head. Right, that's a lot better. Right, there we go. So I'm screwing till it tells me to stop. There we go, and that's in nice and firm. That's not going anywhere. So the next step then is to take our base and right, fit the upholstered seat assembly 4 and 5 from the previous issue. Note the position of the sloped back of the edge. So there we go, there's a sloped back. Now I'm not liking this. I really don't like, no. Right, bear with me one sec, guys. So I am really sorry, guys. I actually made a mistake. I was looking at this and I was putting it in, and I could see that it didn't really want to go in very well. And I'd sort of arranged some masking tape to find out where the holes were, and I just popped a little mark there, and I was going to cut a little bit of a hole out. And that's when I realised I've actually put this in upside down. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to flip it over so all this weird detail is on the opposite side. Pop this in and just bring the tabs in. The tabs on the side, and as if by magic it fits on absolutely perfect. So let's carry on with what we were doing then. So we will get our DPO2 screws. We want 4 of those. Just make sure I have got the right screws. So these are 1.8 by 4. So we'll correspond that with the previous issue. Yes. So 1.8 by 4 mil DP screws. So we want 4 of those, and that is the last of those screws. I think we got 7 of these in total, so we need 6. We've used 2 and we've got the 1 spare. So usual. Why is that now not fitting? Let's use a smaller head. Sorry guys. That's better. Right, so we'll find our first screw hole, which is, it actually fits in beautifully. So I think this screwdriver is not going to be the best screwdriver actually. Right, that one's in. That one's, I've just put that in loosely. I'm going to switch to my Agora fire engine screwdriver because in fact that's too big. Right, I'm going to switch to one of my other build screwdrivers. It's just lining the first 2 screws up. Once that's gone in, there we go. So that seat is held in place now, so it's not going to move off. So we'll pop the 3rd one in. We'll just get a bite on that one. You may need to move this this support area backwards and forwards just to give you a bit more room to get in. There we go. And then we'll put the 4th one in, and this one can go all the way in now because we know the seat's fitting okay. So that goes into there. Right, this is my least favourite screwdriver. For some reason, as I screw, my hand seems to come down the shaft, but in this particular case it's a really good screwdriver. So I'm just screwing this as per normal until it tells me to stop. Which is done there. And then the final screw in there. There we go. Right, and that seat base is, yeah, it feels a little bit loose because I'm pulling the seat support, but it's actually the base that it's attached to, and it is attached firmly. So that's that part done. So the last part of this issue is to put the seat back in, and you'll see it's got a shaped notch in there, and they want to go into there like so. So at the moment that's going to rotate fairly freely, but we will be attaching that with screws, and the screws that we need are the 1.2 by 4 mil, which came in the previous pack, which is these DPO1s. Now these will require a much thinner screwdriver. Oops, one's fallen out, so we'll take the other one out. So we're leaving one screw in there, and I'm going to have to go to this screwdriver because I need a thin one. So holding this in place, As you can see, this isn't, so I'm going to go with this one. There we go, I'm going to go for my favourite screwdriver. So there we go. It might take a little bit of fiddling. You just got to make sure that's lined up properly. Once it's lined up properly, the screw will go in fine. There we go. Right, so I've got the screws in just a little bit, just enough to bite. So what we'll do is we'll hold the seat in the position that we want, and then we can continue screwing these in. There we go, and I've just gone until it wants to stop. There we go. Right, and then what I'll do is I'll just reposition that seat just so it looks a bit more natural. In fact, that's not going to go. Right, so there is the driver's seat, guys. So it's going to go something like that. So quite a basic looking seat. I suspect it was actually probably state of the art when this came out. Obviously I've got no experience of driving trucks of this age, but all this adjustable seat, I bet it made such a difference. So there's the seat done, guys. So the last thing that we want to do now then is to go on to issue 10, and we have got a tyre from the previous from this issue. So we did receive this part with this, whoops, I've got water everywhere. So we've got this tyre which came with this issue, and then we've got the wheels that came with the previous issue. So I'm just drying this tyre off, make sure we've got all of the water out, and then just clean the little bit of mess up I made on the table. So the wheels that we got from the previous issue, they need to go together. So we have this outer piece which is metal and this inner piece which is plastic. And what we're going to do is we're going to line up, you see we've got 4 holes there, and they're going to go in like so. And I think I can see what's going to happen in a future issue, which I'll just get this done first, and then I will explain my speculation. So we should get, there we go. So we've got 5 screws in this packet, of which we only need 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our first screw and coming in through the top there, just going to pop that in just a little bit just to hold it, because we want to make sure the part is staying lined up. Second screw, I've chosen to go opposite, so I can see that's lining up quite nicely. When I say quite nicely, I actually mean perfectly. There you go, that's the third one in. So then we'll get the fourth one in, and then once we're confident this is lined up, we can drive this all the way home. There we go, that's in. So I'll go opposite, and then we'll go the other 2. And then the final one. There we go, and that's in properly. So the last thing we want to do is, we had this problem before where we need to pop this into the middle of the tyre, and the easiest way to do it is just push the tyre a little bit, push that wheel into the middle. Well, this is the easiest way that I've found to do it. Then we can try to tease that wheel into there like so, and then actually I want to do it, no, that's fine. Right, and then we just want to work our way. Might require a little bit of brute strength. In fact, I might want to come in the other way. I tried to get this tyre so that I'm pushing from the inside, because if I'm pushing from the outside I'm pushing against these nuts and it does hurt my fingers. So tried to put myself in a position of pulling from the inside, and like I say, it's just really a bit of strength involved. Unfortunately, it might well be that I've let this tyre go too cold. I think I've got away with this, but I think the tyre maybe just got a little bit too cool. So you can see I've got areas where I've not pulled it up enough, areas where I've pulled it too much. So where I pulled it too much, I just push it back and then just keep going round, and then the same on the other side until that tyre is nicely lined up, and that I'm really happy with. So that is, I mean, I've got a fingernail, I've done this before, but you can get a piece of plastic. If you get a piece of plastic or maybe one of these coffee stirrers, go into McDonald's or something and just run that coffee stirrer, see how I've got that in there, and that will line that up nicely. I use my thumbnail, but as I've said before, not everybody has thumbnails. But don't use anything rough, because you will remove the paintwork. But that's absolutely perfect. So the little bit of something that I noticed, I haven't looked ahead on any issues. We've done a front wheel. Oh no, this is the same. So I noticed that there's 3 screw holes in the middle, and I wondered if perhaps, I know this isn't it, but I wondered if there's going to be a wheel coming in like that, to make a double wheel. But I don't know, I'm totally wrong on that one. So this is a second wheel. The difference between the two is that this one's got the silver plate, this one hasn't. So this is obviously going to be the front wheel. Let me have a quick look at the front of the magazine. So look, oh, this is going to be, what's this one then? This looks like, right, let me check. Yeah, this is the Offside front wheel. So there's no silver plate for it. That's rather interesting. So is that going to come in the next issue? No, it's not, because it's not there. So am I not missing a part? So this is sending me into a little bit of a frenzy, guys. So issue 9, yeah, there's no silver plate for it. That's yeah, that's sending me in a tizzy. I want to know where that plate is. So yeah, there you go, guys. So I'll stop it there, and I'll have to carry on, otherwise I'll have sleepless nights. So that is issues 8, 9 and 10. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Now we've got actual real components, you know, we can see how this is coming along, and I'm really enjoying it now. So guys, catch me in the next video. I believe the next video I'm going to be doing just the 2 issues, which is 11 and 12. So I'll catch you next week.